So man, I can't wait for like that DLC of Silk Sun's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I need to get to my YouTube
Grim
channel
Troop 2.0.
and make sure it's working. This is
Will it be better than the Grim Troop though?
the Grim Troop. I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure the Grim Troop also had the Path of Pain in it. So
Oh wait. Oh, sorry. You heard me. Uh, good. We're online. It's been a while, I think. I don't know why I think it's been a while. We did this last week, but it always feels like a long time.
been a while.
Mm-hmm. So the bad news is my movie editor stopped working for because of disk space. It finds it confusing.
Oh dear.
So movie editor. I mean video editor. I don't know why I said movie. I don't I I don't want to pull a rags and call it videos movies. That's not me. But like I just so there's a couple things I can do. I'm gonna try a couple of things. If those don't work, I'll have to get an external hard drive. It's just it. That's the way it is, you know. But so safe evil. Um, what's the first thing I sort of think of when I think of safe evil? Like I think of like sort of the Disney new Disney twist villains. They're nice until they're like aha, and they're like very PG. They don't do anything that threatening really. It's just threats um and stuff. When that used to be like
I was thinking.
hello suddenly. Yeah.
What?
No,
Oh, he's in
suddenly's in
chat.
chat. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a chat room.
Hello, suddenly.
um
I should open the stream on my end.
oh, it's fine. You'll just give me another view, which would be good.
Hell yeah.
So what do you think of safe evil? What does that bring to mind?
Prince John from Robin Hood.
Uh which Robin Hood?
Disney Robin Hood.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that would be sort of a cartoonish way to go. But even
Yeah.
the
The
unsafe
thing is,
part.
he never
Mhm.
really gets an upper hand in the movie. It's the same with the sheriff actually. Like they're both like incompetent enough to keep the stakes low and keep the movie very chill.
Um I I think what do you mean? I sort of see safe evil as in like not necessarily not as threats, but sort of like what they do doesn't have enough backbone. Like cuz in that movie like they enslave those people and like bleed them dry of money, making them desperate and like able unable to survive. And that reflects in their attitudes. Uh,
So a way I would say save evil
mhm.
is Magnifico from Wish, because
Yes.
right, right when
Uh,
the film makes you think about, oh, what's going on with his backstory, what's going on with him, oh, is there something complicated with him? The movie just immediately turns to, no, he's just a selfish prick. That's about it. It's just like, wait, but I thought there was a reason why
Mm.
he kept the wishes. No, 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 he's just a selfish prick. It's like,
I
oh,
thought we were gonna
okay,
be interesting. Damn it.
Well, yeah, that's the
yeah.
thing. Like, at least the sheriff and all them stuff are kind of interesting from a book, storybook sort of view. Um, I just don't have that sort of like. There's enough edge in there for kids to go, wow, there may be some consequences. And like when the chase happens at the very end, it's like, wow, he barely escapes. Like he could have died. So I'm like, that's the unsafe part, I think. When it comes to a writing standpoint. But yeah, I sort of agree that like it's not he is a comedic villain. Um and the sheriff of Rottingham is the guy who's doing all the legwork. He's the what you call it, the enforcement of it, which means he's allowed to be
Indeed.
more underhanded, dastardly evil. Where it's like Prince John is is the guy who's the comedic evil character. So yeah, I think we should go right to it. Let's see what the video thinks about what is safe evil.
What
Let's
do
see.
you think, person I've not met who also made a heroes are boring
Oh,
video as seen in the more
oh,
videos?
all
It's
right.
funny that it says the heroes are boring, and she's showing Punisher and Rambo, and it's like, wait a minute.
Rambo's not boring. I'm sorry. First Blood is not boring. He's actually pretty interesting. But if you said future ones are boring, I'm like, yeah, you could say that archetype is getting out of style because they just do the same thing over and over. All right, let's see what you got.
A quick note. I want to thank everyone for the response to my last video. I had anticipated a very big and somewhat extremely negative reaction, and so what happened in that regard was more or less what I expected. Luckily, only one soft death threat, or
Oh, and if it doesn't, then I invite you to put on a blindfold, stand against the wall here, and count backwards from
Oh my
100.
lord.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
That's a professional death threat right there.
Oh my gosh. That's
That's
like
a professional death threat.
I remember I used to watch the channel Awesome people, and Doug Walker was interviewing Spoonie, and he did his review of the Phantom Menace when it came out, and he gave it a negative review. And so it was a newspaper, and then people sent in letters saying like I had like and one of the letters said like I don't quite remember, but it goes something like I hope you get run over by a truck filled with cancer. It's like, it's like it's like, oh man. But yeah, it's just one of those things. What's that? Women's literature does not exist. Oh wow.
Yeah,
I
it's talking about. I think that video was probably talking about how there's a. It's probably talking about smut, to be honest.
You mean like Holocom romance or stuff like that?
Stuff like that.
Well, there's
He was
also
probably
more
just talking
extreme
about
versions of that.
and,
It's
like,
kind of like Twilight
yeah,
or 50 Shades.
yeah, that's true.
death
Yeah,
wish. So that's
stories that aren't really made to be good stories.
Well, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think you should limit stories based on that. It's like it's sort of like not made to be good stories. Well, that depends on what you're trying to create. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like
Yeah, well, smut has a very different objective, is what I'm getting at.
yes.
It's got a very different objective than to be a good story.
Yeah.
It's like saying that you watch porn for the plot, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. But I wouldn't stop those things from existing because, like, what if somebody said, like, you know what, I'm gonna make a good story out of that, or something.
Yeah. Or also maybe there's just nothing wrong with that kind of thing existing.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about freedom of expression. People say like, oh, we can create all this good stuff, and like, yeah, but what also comes with it is everything else. Like, you can't
Yeah.
accept the good without the bad of it.
nice. However, the positive response was much greater than I had dared to hope for. And for that,
Also, I like her keyboard. It reminds me of little chocolate like things like covered in marshmallows or something. I don't know. Like
I want
That's
to
like, what the
thank
hell's
all of
going on
you
in that cup? What is
I
going on there?
I think that's espresso.
from the
It
bottom of
wasn't
my
a very
heart
well made
for
one, if that's the case. There's like, it's supposed to be evenly bubbled, you know?
Maybe she likes it that way. I don't know. Very macabre
Okay.
set. It's very
But
basic.
it is lower quality.
restoring my faith in humanity. Besides the comments and the likes, the personal messages I've received about how the video helped some of you in major ways, that was pretty incredible. And the fact that there has been just as much support, if not more, from women is also very heartening, but confirms what I already knew. So thank you again, and also thank you to everyone who reached out with supportive notes and comments. I definitely was not able to thank all of you individually, and I
Get on with it. listen, I understand, but you could put this at the end. I think that'd be better. But I understand.
Yeah,
Like, wow, I'm so
it's a series.
Mm-hmm. I understand though. It's like I didn't know that it would have such of an impact, and it's like you want to get that out right away. I also understand that, but I'm one of those people. I'm like I want to get to the subject matter right away. Like I'm definitely that person. Like
I am the same, unless it like very clearly ties. Like if the previous video very clearly tied into this one, I'd be much more okay with it. Like if it was
mm-hmm.
if it was the heroes one, for instance.
Mm.
I apologize for that, but I absolutely am very grateful.
Okay, it only took a minute out of 40-minute video. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Villains, or if you like, antagonists, are an essential component of any story. This can take a whole assortment of forms. Basically, antagonist really only means that the hero, or protagonist, has to have some significant resistance to his ultimate narrative goal. For that reason, you can get away with things like the environment being the antagonist in disaster movies, or
Yeah, I actually agree with that. Antagonistic force doesn't necessarily mean a person or actually thing with intelligence, because that also gets rid of like Lovecraftian creatures which have no real intelligence. They're a massive form
It
of
also
chaos.
gets rid of stories where the antagonist is.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I think I heard you stop speaking. I think my internet's being weird.
Well,
I
I
thought
can
you
hear
had
you just
stopped
fine.
speaking. My bad.
I can hear you just fine. The whole
Yeah, that's weird.
So yeah, it's kind of like antagonistic force could actually be just a force of nature. So yeah, I agree.
the
I'm just saying,
protagonist.
And so what I was gonna say is that
Oh, sorry.
it also to say that antagonists have to be people also discounts stories where it's sort of like you're battling against yourself, so to speak.
Mm.
Like psychological thrillers are definitely a big part of that. They don't necessarily need to have a person necessarily.
Fight Club. Yeah.
You can personify them, but
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I mean that's a bit more of a literal example.
Well, that's
Um,
what I mean. It's like you're generally fighting against your own mind. Like
that poster for Twister makes it look much more threatening than it actually is in the movie.
it's pretty threatening in the movie, dude. Like it actually
I
listen,
know,
a tornado
but
killed her parents, okay?
you compare this
Tornado
poster
killed
of the
her.
movie to the part where the cow gets fucking sucked into the tornado.
Well, I think this is the final scene in the movie where they have to run for the tornado inside the barn and they have a chain around them. Like still, fun movie. It's just that I don't think it's a very good movie. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I don't think it's that good. It's just a fun roller coaster ride.
Himself being his own worst enemy in certain kinds of dramatic stories, or both. A villain is really just the opposition to the hero's goal.
Okay, I know we said this earlier, but I think there's a difference between villain and antagonist. I think a villain is an individual an individual sorry an individual take on it is an intelligent force that is against you sort of personally. Like I think that's more of a villain. um and then an antagonist is more like anything else, like because like arch villain is definitely like a personal one, but it's definitely like we were talking about Puss in Boots, and I think there's 3 types of antagonist. um but only one of them is a villain, which is Jack Horner. The other 2 are like not even the wolf is trying to hunt him down, but he I don't think he's a villain. Yeah, maybe I need to think about that a little bit more, because I think Death is also a villain,
yeah,
but of a different type.
yeah, it was a bit of a debate that we had where
Mm-hmm.
I think to be a villain it has to be like outright evil actions. There are definitely antagonists who I wouldn't describe as being evil.
Villainous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Banshees of
said.
Inisherin, for instance. Well, that honestly depends on who you think the protagonist is.
Mhm.
But I think what most people would agree is the main antagonist is Colum. Because the falling apart of his and Parik's friendship is the main point of the movie. But you could also very easily say that Parik is the antagonist of the movie because he's in a way very self-destructive. So it really depends how you see it, but I would consider those characters to be antagonists but not villains.
Yeah, like I said, like a force of nature can be antagonistic, but it's not a villain. It has no personal issue with you. It's
Mm.
just a tornado.
Well, here's the thing. Colum and Parik, their relationship is deeply personal. And their reasons for doing the bad things that they do to each other is deeply personal. But I wouldn't say that they're outright evil people.
Yeah, it's sort of like watching Rocky. Um I think Apollo Creed is a antagonist, but he's not a villain. Not really. He's just a
Mm.
boxer that doesn't think much of Rocky.
That
Yeah,
being
that's a
said,
much more innocent example of what we're talking about because the things that Colum and Parik do to each other are quite bad.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Though
yeah.
I will not
hmm
spoil.
I'm just saying there's types of antagonists that aren't villains, but you can use them interchangeably because most of the time they are the same things. Um, like because
Mm.
the villain is always antagonistic toward the hero.
villains, that is to say, bad guys, have been experiencing a strange evolution in the last few decades, especially more recently. For one thing, they have become less and less villainous. Taking it further, they have become less and less evil. Part of this is in an effort in modern and postmodern literature to provide all aspects of a story with more multidimensional realism. Naturally, a villain would be a human or human adjacent, so there ought to be more to him than just being the bad guy. Maybe
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to do the same thing as a writer. Like when I'm writing my story, I'm thinking about what was the villain's goals? Why does he have those
What
goals?
what
And
does she
stuff like
mean
that.
by
hmm
what does she mean like there was an evolution? Is she saying
Past few
there was
decades.
never like a I guess, but there
Um,
are stories from a long time ago that have there are stories from a long time ago that had like multi-dimensional villains.
oh, absolutely. But those were the
I
n-
think it might be.
those were more rare back then when it comes to like the public perception of them.
It also depends whether we're talking about characterization or character tone, because
Mm,
I think the tone of villains has definitely changed over time. Like
yes,
back, back in the old days, villains were portrayed pretty much exclusively negatively. Um,
true. That's the
while
tone of it, isn't
there
it?
is a lot more of like silver linings when it comes to villains nowadays.
hmm
Wouldn't you
Um,
say
it's not to say that the
uh,
complexity hasn't been there. It has. It's just how it's been portrayed.
hmm
wouldn't you say that the antagonist the antagonist of Moby Dick has some layers due to the fact that he is a vengeful whale.
Um, I'm
Tonally,
I don't know, but then again, I would. It depends on who you're
like
looking at.
what's the tone?
Because Ishmael from Moby Dick is also like a vengeful person who puts everybody at risk just so he can kill this one whale. So it's like you become the very thing, da 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 da, you know. So
I haven't read it, but
no, I haven't read it, but I know the Spark
I'm
Notes.
gonna wager a guess that that the whale uh is portrayed like almost exclusively negatively.
Yes, because you're.
Despite the very natural
Mhm.
characterization.
It's sort of like well, that's because it's coming from Ishmael's point of view. Like, of course he's gonna say it's negative. You're the hero of your own story whenever you write it, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
it wouldn't necessarily make them more evil, but it would make them more villainous just because of
Mhm.
the way in which they're being portrayed,
Has anyone ever seen Clockwork
rather
Orange?
than what they actually are.
It's about it's a villain story. Like it's an evil person like going through life and enjoying it. Like that's what a Clockwork Orange is about. And you see his point of view, and he is the hero in his own story. But of course, you know, he's not thinking he's doing anything wrong. It's pretty interesting, but I couldn't stomach that movie more than once. It's very graphic.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot we were talking about. Oh, that's right. The changeover the time when it comes to villains. I really do think that like it is sort of public perception as much. It's like I whenever someone says safe evil, I also think of like the speech about was that like Falcon gives to the people. It's like you got to do better, Senator. Don't call them terrorists. It's like
God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that.
That's just bad writing. It's like it's just not
Yes.
acknowledging what actually happened.
Oh, absolutely. It's like things are more
Like,
complex. Yeah.
It's a dissonantly positive edit, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
To put it in reality TV terms, it's a dissonantly positive edit.
It's maybe I should remain ignorant on the issues. Like, don't say that.
We ought to examine how he came to be the bad guy, or whether or not his goals might have some merit. All of this ostensibly in the pursuit of richer characters, which is not an unworthy pursuit, but let's tackle this issue one piece at a time. All of this literary experimentation has its place, I suppose, if you do it right, which, as I said,
there are certain villains that, like, if you made them more complex, it actually hurts them. Because, like, I remember, like, I don't like Dio in Stone Ocean. He becomes sympathetic toward a preacher, and he teaches him about heaven. And I'm like, what about that character from part 3, in part 1, makes him think like he's gonna take a preacher under his wing because he likes him.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
And teach him about heaven. Like,
yeah, Dio cares about no one but himself.
Well, that is somewhat true. He does. It's not saying he doesn't care for other people, but it's all to experience the gain of himself. Like when Vanilla Ice chops his own head off, he revives him because he showed such servitude. He rewards people who just undying loyalty to him. So yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. It feels like a post hoc.
What if in John Wick 1 they made Yosef sympathetic instead of a piece of shit?
The payoff wouldn't be as good.
Like, that would really undercut the
Yeah.
revenge story that's happening in John Wick.
It would undercut the payoff because it's like, oh, look what you did. It's like, wait a minute, this messes up tone.
Like beats his ass,
fucking
kills his
killed a
dog,
dog.
steals his car, and then they show, oh well, his mother has cancer.
More
There's
than that, he kills
cancer.
a Dachshund. It's not just that he kills a dog; he kills a Dachshund.
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's a tidy dog. It's a lap dog. Like
It's like it's
those
Frieza
guys
became
will just bark
sympathetic.
at you.
It's like, no, don't make Frieza sympathetic. Don't do it.
said we'll get into in a bit here. But something that we as a society have apparently forgotten is that most of the time a crucial factor in the villain's character is evil. Of course, I don't mean that all characters need to be Lucifer-esque, Morningstar, or even Morgoth. Although huge, ugly, powerful evil is actually a crucial aspect of fiction that is currently all but extinct. What I mean is that the clear moral judgment and acceptance that the villain character is morally bad in some major significant way is a critical part of making a villain. The idea of evil as an important...
I like this sort of thing. Where it's like it sort of flies against the whole like extra credits view of like you can't make orcs evil or have a race that is evil inside your game or story. It's like, yes, I can. Watch me. Like,
I am worried.
the flood is evil, okay?
I am worried about what she's going to say
Mm-hmm.
though, because I'm not saying this is what she's saying, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
worried that she's going to. I'm worried that she's going to lean down the path of, uh, we should always stick to villains being evil rather than giving them any sort of dimension.
Well, she said earlier that we should put dimensions on people, but like I think that I don't know if she implied it or not, but like you have to give that a purpose inside the story, or else like it's gonna just fall flat. You know.
Right.
Important aspect of a villain character has been shunned more and more by the pseudo-intellectual literary elite who
The myth of evil, dude. That is something like demonizing the enemy. Yeah, the flood's evil. They want to absorb every living thing.
Well, even then, in that same story with Halo, we learned
Mhm.
that the Covenant is being manipulated by their higher ups.
Yes, that's the complexity of the covenant of the storytelling, which is woven
Yeah.
into that story. But we still have an antagonistic force that is villainous. Like it's called the Flood. It causes like part of the covenant to say, "Hey, wait a minute, we need to stop this." Like
What about
join.
like
Yeah, 'cause
the aliens from Alien and Aliens?
Mhm.
The xenomorphs, like they are portrayed almost exclusively evil because they're invasive species. Like
Yes,
it doesn't matter how
they're really
natural it is to their
aggressive
biology,
bees.
they are pretty much, yeah. It's like, sure, killing animals isn't fun, but at some point you kind of have to because it's
Mhm.
disrupting the ecosystem.
Yes, it's more complicated than just leave the poor innocent animal alone. Like,
Yeah, can we wipe out the cane toads here, please?
no, what are you talking about? We
They're
Westerners,
poisoning everything else.
we
They
Westerners
keep
put them
getting
there
eaten
for
by
a
stuff
reason.
and it poisons.
You
Yeah,
take.
and just made the problem worse.
I
God damn
know.
it.
Aren't they eating the beetles? Come on.
They're not. They
I
actually
know.
aren't.
I know. That's the
It's so
joke of it.
stupid.
Yeah.
will tell you that black cloak villainy, villains who are obviously very bad, is childish and unrealistic. There might be a case to be made for degrees of nuance depending
But
on
the,
the specific story being told, but this mindset isn't apparently referring to degrees of nuance, but rather a complete overhauling of our concept of bad. It's not difficult to
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Where it's like they're trying
yeah.
to reinvent the wheel when the wheel was already moving just fine.
The worst. Well, this is a good example, but the worst
Mhm.
part about this example is that in Steven Universe, they
Uh,
forgive Hitler. Not like
Yeah.
literally Hitler, but they forgive basically space Hitler.
it's one.
They
Mhm.
they forgive Mussolini.
It's
We'll put
the
it that way.
They forgive
it's
Mussolini.
it's the Last of Us 2 thing where it's like you kill so many people asking which you have to in order to get them to continue about people trying to beg for them lives, and then all of a sudden at the very end you forgive the person who killed Joel. It's like something isn't clicking. It's like
Hmm.
Now I understand that Steven in that show tries his best not to shatter gems. In fact, it's the big it's the big moral question of like, should you kill somebody if necessary? And it's a theme that's been shared throughout the show as, is it something you do? And then at the end of the show, it's just like, no, no, no. We should all just forgive each other and live happily as best we can. It's like, no, no. Look, if you don't want to kill White Diamond, that's fine, but you don't have to forgive her. You could literally just imprison her or
that's what the
keep her
Avatar
banished away.
does.
Yeah, that's what Aang does. It comes out of bumfuck nowhere, but
Yeah,
it,
it's a
it, it's
complete
still,
contrivance. Yes.
yes, it's a contrivance, but it's at least something. Like Aang didn't go like, say, "Hey, Ozai, we should just forgive each other." It's like, no, he's like, "I took your bending away. Get the fuck out of here."
I'll put you in jail. And then like Azula's the same thing. It's like, yeah, they captured her. It's like, yeah, like
Yeah,
there's all these things. And it's like, of course, during the war, they had to kill each other because it's self-defense. of your own country. But it's what you have to do to save the environment there, because they're about to burn the entire kingdom to the ground. So it's like, yeah, there's justification for destroying stuff. It doesn't say violence is bad. It says, do what you have to do. Which flies in the face of the last lesson. But anyways.
Analyze the progression of thought here. People looked at human characters who weren't evil incarnate and recognized that it was highly improbable for a person, even a villain, to be pure evil, that is 100% evil, which is actually true, yes. But then their conclusion was that evil must not exist, at all. I shouldn't have to explain how fallacious this logic is. It's like saying because mushrooms don't cover the entirety of any surface on which they appear, mushrooms don't exist. It's silly, but we're going to break it down later. And if I'm in a very, very...
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's like, just because we don't know a solid concept for what evil is doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Well, yes, but there's also evil that has there are full on evil people in stories that have layers to them as to why they are
that
this
way
unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
Like for one of the biggest examples is Am from I Have No
Oh yes, Am is great.
Am is a horrible person.
Horrible machine.
Horrible machine. But that him being machine is entirely why he's this way.
He was programmed by humans. He took inspiration from them, and saw he ran their war for them and won.
Yeah, he essentially learned to not only hate humans but hate his very own existence. In fact, hate is all he's known due to his existence.
Well, yeah, your whole point of your existence is to hate the other side. Yeah, it's
he's multifaceted, and yet people still regard him as one of the most evil characters ever written.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Even when it comes to real life, I would say there's some evil people out there. Sometimes there's no nuance. When it comes down to it. And there's all these people throughout history. We'll call those people evil. It's just that it's kind of funny how they say nuance with certain people, but not nuance when it comes to other people. It's a complete 180 on their own ethics when it comes to how they write characters.
Good mood, I might even provide sources for further reading. But the point is that modern fiction writers have arrived at a point where the concept of evil has been rejected as non-existent. Whether it's Guillermo del Toro insisting that monsters are the true heroes of all monster stories and monster hunters are the real villains, or writers like Alex Lake, who...
Are we sure Guillermo del Toro completely agrees with that? I mean, he made Pacific Rim.
stories and monster hunters.
The real monsters of Guillermo del Toro's movies are the humans. This is Collider. No wonder.
Del Toro didn't say this.
Yeah.
But I have to see if I'm just gonna find this article. I'm gonna see if Del Toro actually said this.
Yeah,
I don't think Del Toro said this at all. I don't think he said this at all. I just think it's someone.
Can you just go back to the previous article that she showed?
Sure. Yeah. Hold on.
Okay, this is an interview. This is a. Well, that's not the same thing. Identifying with monsters is not the same thing.
Yes,
monsters are the true heroes of all monsters.
What we love Guillermo del Toro's monsters and evil humans.
So this is probably just about Pan's Labyrinth, which sure, but even then, that has the fucking Pale Man in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen Pan's Labyrinth.
I don't think Guillermo del Toro is strictly going by humans bad, monsters good, because he's clearly made bad monsters before.
This is.
And he's also made good monsters and good humans and bad humans. He likes being multifaceted with all of them.
I think this is just projection from the writer.
I guess you'd have to show where Del Toro himself said this. because all she's shown is articles saying that about him, and a quote where he said that he identifies with monsters.
I wonder, yeah, because this might be a misconception with um about like what is said about Del Toro and what we expect from him, and their projection of it. And then she says Del Toro said this. I'm not quite sure.
Fiction writers have arrived at a point where the concept of evil has been rejected as non-existent. Whether it's Guillermo del Toro insisting that monsters are the
Hero of Central Culture, quoted by Daily. We first find things. Del Toro first saw Frankenstein. Oh, Frankenstein. Oh, that might explain a few, because like Frankenstein is
Well,
not.
yeah.
He's the monster, sure, but he's
Yeah,
he's very sympathetic.
because that's the
Like
whole
the
thing
original
about
story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about Frankenstein, is that he's a monster, but he's not like a monster in the inside. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He's
Yeah,
kind of like
he just doesn't understand most things.
he's kind of like George and the Rabbits. Where it's like he doesn't know what he's doing. He kills people and he's like, what did I do wrong?
true heroes of all monster stories, and monster hunters are the real villains, or writers like Alex Lake, who insists that Satan in Milton's Paradise Lost was sexy, thereby making it difficult,
Okay, got it.
apparently, to root against him, or rearranging the moral ideas in the story.
Greater Brian, fully of cannibalism, diverse reputation, and unworldly bonds of male friendship. What is going on?
Okay.
What am I looking at?
Hold on. Watch to get this broken for me.
Oh no. Can you reset it?
I'm just I am rejoining.
Okay.
Come on.
Australia? Shake hand.
Yes.
Shake
Okay.
fist.
We're good.
Okay.
Story of
We're good?
Hannibal
Alright.
Lecter to make him a kind of moral neutral.
Isn't that whoa.
Cannibalism isn't that big of a deal.
He is in the story of
Whoa,
Hannibal
wait a
Lecter.
minute. Isn't that big of a deal? Come on.
Cannibalism isn't that big a deal.
Flip
I mean,
it.
depends on context.
Brian,
Going out of your way to kill people for human meat when you can eat other things definitely is
Well,
a big
it's
deal.
the reason why I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like once you do it, it's kind of funny. You get a lot of mental and physical diseases from that. Like it's not good.
Oh yeah, that too.
Make him a kind of moral neutral, made morally acceptable by the act of being accepted by Will Graham, I guess. Deleting the inherent evil of a cannibalistic serial killer to Fuller allows him to explore this character as something other than a villain. It also, it's worth noting, defanged and dulled Hannibal Lecter into something very boring and ordinary. An incredible feat, if you ask me. Side note, it is insane to me when people tell me that Satan was the most interesting character in Paradise Lost. I found him dull and petulant, a bitter, pouting child making constant justifications, all the while refusing to take responsibility for his own actions. The genius of Milton's Satan was that
That's interesting. I've never read Paradise Lost.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily bad writing. Like that could just be his characterization.
Yeah. I think that's what she's saying.
he painted the devil to mirror the ways in which humans refuse to take responsibility for their own evil and villainy. I find it very telling when people call him relatable. If you want someone else's opinion besides my own on that one, you source maniacs, try C.S. Lewis's preface to Paradise Lost. There are two things that we need to know here
C.S.
before...
Lewis on Paradise Lost. That actually does sound interesting. Yes, the writer of Narnia on Paradise Lost. Interesting.
we dive into the villain abyss. First, evil as an objectively understood moral idea has been relegated to the fiction pile. There is, according to what we see in fiction these days, no actual evil. That is to say, the entire objectively moral concept of evil as a moral truth is no longer accepted in popular culture. Second, This is directly linked to the first point. When evil is removed from the equation, when storytellers refuse to make any kind of moral judgment about the characters, especially about their villains, this completely dulls the entire story and makes it into a pile of mush that will be forgotten long before its remainders are pulped at the paper factory. Because
Because there's a difference between
Mhm.
like questioning the ethics of an action, and saying, hey, was this actually like completely evil? Were they justified in doing this?
Mhm.
And just saying, hey, yeah, so you can't actually do wrong. Like the whole thing
Mhm.
about ethics debates requires there to be a wrong.
Yes. It's sort of like the sort of morality 101 with the ethics debate when it comes to the trolley problem. It's like, sorry, but someone's gonna die. You have to choose. Uh, so yeah, I kind of but still, I kind of generally agree that like um, you may believe no such thing as evil, but like it doesn't matter if you're writing a story. Um, if you want evil to be in there, it's going to be really difficult for you to make where everybody is just depending on the story, of course. Not every story needs to have evil in it necessarily, but it's going to be very hard for me to write my story without an evil like thing in it because it's fantasy, and fantasy um that I'm writing has gods interwoven with it, and there are such thing as like evil things in that world. They are unapologetically evil because that's how they were created to be by their by their evil deity. So it's like, yes, they are evil, but there's going to be nuance, of course, but it's not going to be with that thing, you know. And I accept that, and it'd be really difficult to find like every time you want to do something, it's like, well, I have to write them morally dubious. Like, no, just be evil. It's fine. Uh, it sort of reminds me of also like the Devil May Cry Netflix series when there's all like they make some of the demons morally meh, and I'm like, no, most demons are evil. We understand that. Stop it.
despite what all these people are saying, objectively, understanding what evil is and that evil can occur is something the mind craves. But the bottom line is that stories can't survive evil being removed from our entire understanding of what makes bad guys bad. What makes a bad guy bad is this concept of evil. It's not their traumatic childhood. It's not that one horrible thing that happened to them. It's not society or oppression. Evil is something else. These
Huh. I don't know how to feel about that.
I think there's something to be said though that like a lot of people can face the same things that a lot of villains will face and not turn out that way.
Yes. In fact, a lot of good characters, a lot of people have those circumstances and come out better for them. They become good people because they don't want that to happen to anyone else. You know, that's another thing that could happen.
Or it could be said that maybe they were already good and
Mm-hmm.
this is just proof of that. While that person was already bad, but this gave them a reason to be extra bad.
Yes. Or it's like it just gives them
Or
an
it, it
excuse to do
you know,
whatever they
it made
wanted.
them
Yeah.
it gave them the motivation to do their worst.
It's sort of like the difference between the Owlman and Batman. I was sort of run over. It's like Owlman sees like if there's an infinite multiverse and our choices don't matter, and he becomes a nihilist. So it's like it doesn't matter what we do. It's just gonna end up in a void somewhere else. So it's like, man, uh,
things are merely the catalysts for choice and change. Choices they make, by the way, that get them to their destination. Evil. When characters and people make decisions, those decisions inform their future character. Make enough bad decisions, you become a bad person. Bad has a way of metastasizing into the rest of your character. This used
um, I will
Okay,
say
you basically said what we were saying.
there is a bunch of like, oh yeah, absolutely, but like there is, I would say there's oh, excuse me. There are certain choices, certain things, like in the movie Joker. One thing leads after another because when it rains, it falls sort of effect, where it's like he gets hit by the sign, then he loses the sign, he gets yelled at. When he gets yelled at and he gets beat up, he gets the gun, and when he gets the gun, he goes to the hospital and gets, and he gets fired, and when he gets fired, he gets, and then on the subway shoots three guys, and that's when he feels better. But the first thing that happens, he gets taken off his medication. It's like there's all these things that stumble across. Like it's one bad day, but it is sort of things that you like try to go against society, try to be an upstanding citizen, and he just can't do it anymore. It's like yes, I think that there is sometimes choices that do sort of force your hand into becoming what you always wanted to be, but sort of fighting against.
Used to be
Yeah,
frequently
that's the
depicted.
thing to keep in mind with the Joker is that like there are many times where he could have just not done the thing.
Oh, absolutely. But man, it's
Yeah.
like
Like him going out of his
mm.
way to chase after the third person.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
instance.
He felt powerful in that moment, and he and his body and his mind took him there. It's like, yeah, it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was a really appreciated thing in that scene where
Mhm.
it actually like fully willingly showed that yeah, no, he is just being malicious. Like
Yep,
sure, he was self-defense at first, but now he's chasing this third person.
absolutely. Like I 100% agree. And then when he dances in the bathroom, it's like, yeah, he feels powerful with that gun.
That
Bad
moment of
person.
him
Bad has
Yeah,
that moment of him dancing is the only moment that he felt free, that he felt
exactly.
like at
Mhm.
peace.
And then he knew his course, the next course of action was going to be to get what he needs, to get what he wants. He's tired
Yeah.
of society beating him down.
a way of metastasizing into the rest of your character. This used to be frequently depicted in children's stories with ugly villains. It conveyed to children that evil is a thing that poisons the entire person. You can acknowledge that the person who became the villain began often as a normal, regular person. But that acknowledgement cannot negate the core of the villainy, which is that it is bad. Objectively. Something you can't escape if you're trying to study literature or write in current year is this maddeningly slippery concept of postmodern everything. Postmodern heroes, postmodern
Heroes of problem, postmodern moral American culture and moral responsibility in the fictions of Morrison Nyler. I don't. Purdue, not Purdue.
plot structure, postmodern character analysis, and of course, included in there is also postmodern villains or even postmodern evil. Relegating this to study in some dusty library somewhere is one thing. Postmodernism is interesting and has its academic merits, but the concept of postmodern villainy has bled into and saturated popular culture. In fact, I would say that we're now
Yeah, I agree. It's I'm I won't go to bat that much for postmodernism, because it's kind of ruined the idea of like escapist entertainment. That like you can't just have something
I
for
wouldn't
for the sake of something.
I wouldn't necessarily say so. It's more just that there's this notion that you kind of have to go by it, but while also misunderstanding what postmodernism actually is.
I think.
Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people think that because there's no necessarily correct way to do it, that means that there isn't an incorrect way to do it.
Mm.
Like, I think I saw a metaphor somewhere of cups being like pre-modern, modern, and postmodern, where the postmodern one is like really fancy, but it still very clearly works as a cup. Yeah, the
Um.
postmodern one's very out there, but it very still clearly functions as a cup.
Yeah, it's just that I guess the pre one is more um utility
Oh, it
based.
was a clay cup. It
Yeah,
was a clay cup.
yeah.
Basically.
It's just made for
The modern
utility.
one is like
Mm-hmm.
The modern one is like you're very
Artsy fartsy.
well put together, but not very not not really artsy fartsy at all. The postmodern was the artsy fartsy one.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like
The modern one was more like the factory produced one. You know, the one that was done to rules, basically.
It's sort of like
where
well,
like it was extremely standardized.
Obviously, what I mean is like
yeah, it can still look nice,
but
it's standardized.
The thing I sort of meant by that was is that like they don't like it sort of moved in a way to this sort of idea. It's like you're not allowed to not think about something because everything has got to have this message behind it, and sometimes I just want to see things explode. Like like it's and here's the thing, it's kind of like why video games are such the best thing out there right now, because there are games you just go and hit people. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all about, it's like, yeah, it's not making you think or anything, it doesn't have a deep story, but it's fun. It's like, yeah, it's about having fun, because that's the thing about, I think we've kind of forgotten about movies. They should be fun.
Yeah, but I think my response to that would be both is good.
Oh yeah, both is great, but like we shouldn't shun things just for being fun. Like they're dumb fun.
Yeah.
It's like we watched The Day After Tomorrow.
I think we just have to acknowledge that they are what they are, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not against deep storytelling, of course, because I love deep storytelling, especially when it comes to character stuff and plot, but then I'm like, I want to go watch my JoJo's. Some guy beats the other guy up with 1,000 fists. So like I'm fine.
Honestly, that's the reason I still watch Hell's Kitchen. It's not good. Like,
oh,
it's not
I
a good
love Hell's
show,
Kitchen. I
but
think
it
it's
is
great.
endlessly fun.
But-
It's great fun. I'll give it that, but I have major problems with the show. Even as a reality show, like I have problems with it. But I always just compare myself to a bin chicken when I watch it. I'm like, delicious trash.
It's not even the worst reality show. Those belong to like The Bachelor, Bachelorette. It's like, at least they're real on that show. Like whenever they do dinner service, that's the real emotions coming out. It's like, yes, give me the realism, please.
To a degree, aside from the overdramatic music.
Oh, absolutely. But like when they cuss and all that stuff and they're sweating and they're like, it's a real stressful situation, and it's like, yes, that's real. That is definitely real. I'm like, it's not this.
Sometimes Ramsey overacts quite a lot, and
absolutely,
editing gets manipulative and all that. Like those are problems, and I don't think they necessarily have to do them, because I've seen the uncut dinner services. Those are really interesting. Sadly, they only exist for season 2, but if you like Hell's Kitchen, watch the uncut dinner services.
I do like I remember once I'm like, he yells at somebody because they have raw stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that could have killed somebody. You deserve to be yelled at like that. It's like
raw.
So anyways,
living in the moral and narrative wasteland that is inevitable in the wake of totally embracing literary postmodernism. This is like postmodernism. So now we come to it. What is
That's actually a thing.
Evil? Before we get into it, I want to illustrate the philosophical idea of evil as I was trained to understand it. This is the absolute most basic and simplistic idea from which...
I'm glad she put this up first. I like how she's doing it. She puts up with like, what is evil? And then she's like, here's how I was taught. And I'm like, yes. So if we ever disagree, it's just that, well, that's how she was taught. All right.
A great deal more interesting thought can emerge. This is by no means meant to be some kind of comprehensive treatment of philosophical evil. All right, a lot of you got pretty steamed last video when I said that I was going to state facts, not opinions. We're there again. Obviously, I would not believe that the definition I'm about to give you for evil was the true definition unless I had reason to believe it was something more than an opinion. If it was just my opinion, I wouldn't bother making a whole video about it. The reality is
Oh my gosh! I can't believe it. Someone said the quiet part out loud. Finally. If you have an opinion, keep it to yourself. When you make video essays. Wow. All right. I like it.
It was something more than an opinion. If it was just my opinion, I wouldn't bother making a whole video about it. The reality is that, in a sense, there is no such thing as evil. Stay with me. Good is a thing, good exists. Evil, properly speaking, is defined as an absence of good. This is nice because here you can get your degrees of evil. However much good is absent results in a greater or lesser degree of evil. This is what gives people this idea of gray areas. I hate that term because it muddies the understanding of good and evil. Good is an absolute. It can never be great, but it can be absent to varying degrees. According to this philosophical understanding, there is no such thing as innate or intrinsic evil. No thing or person can exist which is evil in itself, because, as I said, evil doesn't itself exist. It is simply a lack of good. The more a person gives himself over,
I sort of like the idea that she's just going through the
That is one way of defining it.
Yeah. Yes. I sort of like how she's sort of doing this. I lost my train of thought. It's fine.
to evil, the less good is present in that person. Properly speaking, a person doesn't give himself over to evil, he abandons good. So a really big, ugly evil like Morgoth or Sauron is actually very accurately described as a kind of void. Big evil that is almost utterly absent of good would be like a moral black hole that absorbs all light and has a kind of magnetic pull. Side note, to aid in clarity, when I say evil absolutely exists, I mean that evil is absolutely definable. When I say that philosophically evil does not itself exist, I mean that it is not a positive, substantial entity in itself, but that its existence is reliant on the existence of good, which is a positive, substantial
I would
entity
disagree
in
with
itself.
that notion.
Okay.
Because a lot of actions that we would consider evil require active effort.
Yes.
They don't require some kind of absence. Like in some ways, like committing a murder requires a strength of some kind. I think there is an energy that is required to make yourself go and kill someone.
It depends on the type of murder that you're doing. It can be heat of the moment.
Well, I'm talking like strict murder.
Okay.
I'm not talking
Murder
heat of the
one.
moment murder. I'm talking like
Yeah.
well, even then, heat of the moment like provides that energy, you know?
It really does, but like that is more instantaneous. But like
And there's also something to be said that we need to make clear that there's a distinction between an action being evil and a person being evil.
yes.
Because I don't think necessarily that a person doing an evil action will necessarily make them evil.
No, that's what she
as a
said though.
person.
There were degrees of it. That like
Yeah.
and
So
I think it's sort of the same thing. When you choose to do an evil action, you are going away from the good. It's like, yeah, I think that's self-evident.
yeah, there is definitely polarity to it. Like you can't an action can't be both good and evil necessarily. At least
Mhm.
innately at least.
It's yeah,
It
that's a
can
big
definitely
joke.
be motivated by good.
That's a big joke. It's like what was it? He robbed the bank but saved the puppy at the same time. It's like, what? It's like Mhm.
Yeah, well, those are two different actions, okay?
Well, yeah, those are two different actions, but the whole point is like that used to be a big joke in like in Animaniacs or whatever. It's like no, is he good or evil? Nobody knows because he ain't got no personality.
Yeah,
This
but here's
whole
the thing.
thing is something.
With like
Yeah.
if somebody raids a place with a gun and is shooting at most people but then doesn't kill the children, I would consider that more a limit on their evil rather than good counteracting it.
Yes, that means he has a when it comes to people, there's always a line they won't cross. And sometimes when it comes to like more ignorant people, it doesn't matter. Like they'll just do whatever it takes to get the job done.
All right, so we've established that I kind of disagree with this definition of evil, but that's just because we run on different ethical systems. She's defined hers, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I think it's well defined. I kind of agree. Like, there's going to be different
Yeah,
sections which I disagree.
it's
But
a very well defined one. I just disagree with it.
yeah,
Sometimes called privation theory, a term I hate, but I kind of hate terms in general. But if you want to, you can either open a separate tab.
I think terms are great.
Sorry,
That-
what?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Because like when you say terms, you don't like using terms. I'm like, well, you have to, because in order to have a conversation, you have to define your terms.
Welcome to the world of speaking.
Yes. Which is why you use the word safe evil in postmodernism and what you think about what it is. You're giving a definition. Like,
In your browser and type in privation evil theory and do some reading, or if you'd prefer curated sources, you can look up one of the titles I have on the screen right now. For all of you listeners out there, just so you
I
know,
love
there
when
are
they put-
currently sources.
I love when they put links on the screen like we can copy them.
yeah, but it's
I mean, we can, but only manually.
yeah, it's kind of like put them in your description.
Or put them in a paste bin in the description.
Yeah.
It's not in the description. It's not in the description.
Oh.
Just make a paste bin. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, that's a bit lazy, but
I can't.
oh well.
I can't copy these.
Take a screenshot.
On the
I think
screen.
more are gonna appear. Just
Yep.
let it play out until they all appear.
Note, this summary does an excellent job at highlighting a possible reason that many find it attractive to
Got it.
reject this philosophical understanding, which is that the privation theory places the responsibility for evil on mankind, not some mysterious outside force.
You know what? I'm gonna make a paste bin and I'm
Let's
gonna
move
put all
on.
these links
Of course,
in there so
the
that anyone
unfortunate-
watching
It's fine.
you can put the paste bin in the description, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna put them all in there.
You could put a comment on it, in fact, and like do that.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways.
That works.
A byproduct of this philosophical foundation is that it presupposes the existence of objective good. Although, if you don't believe in objective good, that means it's not possible for there to be an objective absence of good, which means good and evil are whatever you define them to be, which means there is no good and evil, which means you can do literally whatever you want and no one has the moral right to stop you. So I guess that's nice for you. For the rest of
I
us
think for
living in the
me-
real world,
Yeah.
The way I'd put it is that good does exist, but it's a bit like determining exactly what's going to happen in the next second. It's damn near impossible to like truly define it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is very clear. There's very clearly things that are going to happen and very clearly things that are not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. It's especially we know from our own human experience about like what happens if I don't or do this. And also like there's always the theory of like where if you help somebody, that means someone else isn't getting helped. You know, it's like you helped that lady across the road, congratulations. There's another lady across from there who didn't. And now she's suffering. So it's like, yeah, but if you didn't know about it, who cares? No, that's my thought on that.
understanding and then accepting that evil is something that is definable is a critical element in appreciating and then also in writing good stories. Just as heroism and heroes can't be examined or written well without understanding morality, villainy and villains can't be examined without understanding evil. Now here's the thing. Modern 21st century society, especially 21st century literature and philosophical thought, is largely the result of a bunch of random French guys yelling at each other in between trips to the opium den and absinthe vendors at their mistress's apartment.
What the heck? Okay. That's interesting.
In case it's not obvious, I'm making a joke. My point is that our modern understanding of good and evil is not this enlightened thing that resulted from magnificent minds. Mostly it's garbage, intended to provide society with the greatest level of permissiveness reasonably allowable. Some of it is actually kind of interesting. Most of it is garbage.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
Okay.
Magnificent minds, mostly it's garbage, intended to provide society with the greatest level of permissiveness reasonably allowable.
Reasonably. Okay.
allowable. Some of it is actually kind of interesting. Most of it is garbage. We're getting off topic. What I'm saying is that postmodernism has some interesting
I
ideas,
really
like
don't
I
like it
said.
when they do that in videos. When they're just when they do a side tangent and then say, "Ah, we're going off topic," as if they didn't write it.
Oh
Like, you're
yeah.
not doing a vlog. You're
I
doing a scripted video,
I do that
and trying
sometimes.
to pretend that this isn't scripted is kind of bad form.
Oh yeah, but I understand. It's like, man, like I wanted to talk about this, but it's like, oh, it's not the time. Dang it. Yeah, then you should have deleted it. Yeah, like I would do it as a joke, but that's something that yeah, you're right. I need to do something about that.
But what we have left now is an insane soup. It's literally impossible to form any kind of solid opinion about anything objective within postmodern thought. No matter how much you read, it seems to come down to the idea that man decides for himself both what is real and what is right. Sure, I'm oversimplifying, but challenge any postmodernist to prove that wrong. So what does all this postmodern business mean for villains and villainy? Put simply, the postmodern understanding of evil as such is that it doesn't exist. And I don't mean that in the classical sense that evil is merely an absence of good. I mean it doesn't exist in that it can't be defined. I mean that to postmodern literary theorists,
Okay, so I wonder what they would say if I said like, hey, a guy comes in with a gun and shoots up a family. Is that evil? I don't know how they would answer
Well,
that.
what's the context of this? Hmm?
Yeah, exactly. What's the context? Okay. It's like, well, it's kind of funny. There are stories of like, um, very weird stories, like almost supernatural, when like people will just do evil acts. They said, because I wanted to. And it's like, suddenly they just have the notion to
Well,
do
maybe
it.
that person is criminally insane, to be honest.
Yeah, that's like, it's one of those things that's like, people driving across the country just to worship at a man's feet. And I'm like, what in the world? It's so insane. Like two different parts of the country, these two women meet up at the same place just to worship at this guy's feet. It's one of the weirdest things. Like, of course, this thing happened like the 60s and the 70s when all the cult movement was going on. Like, it's there's some seriously weird stuff that's like that would blow someone's mind, and it's like, oh, it's just
Yes.
craziness. Like,
There's a lot of stuff you can question in terms of people's morality throughout the world.
mm-hmm.
And while it's hard to find somebody that is like full on evil, there are plenty of serial killers out there who, even back then, who you could describe as evil due to their
Yes,
ways of reacting to certain situations, what they do to their victims, and so on.
yes, correct.
And there's even more vile things like making people watch the Patrick Willems train video.
Yeah, I did that. I'm evil, but like, and it's sort of like
Fucker.
like if you mention certain people, they're doing evil actions right now. It's just that they put themselves up that they don't see themselves that way. It's thank you, Mr. Piker. Anyways,
which is everybody in every English lit department, in every publishing house, in every literary agency. The concept of evil, for lack of a better term, is a social construct subject to the whims of every individual person.
social construct.
To a degree, that is actually true. However,
Mm-hmm.
there are some However, there are some things that like are such a consensus that they basically become truth.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that are social construct that we just use and not realize it is, like money, or like and the way it's traded and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people use the word social construct to imply
dismiss.
that it's
Mm-hmm.
useless.
Yeah, it's like it's
To be
really
dismissive
not.
of it. It's
Like,
like money's a social construct.
like
Trade is a social construct. Like a lot of things that we interact with all the time are social constructs.
yeah, like what words have meaning is kind of a social construct. Like
Rights are social constructs.
we
The
need
idea
to
of people
describe
having the
something.
right to things.
Yeah. It's like, so it's like, I don't care if it's a social construct. Is it useful to me?
I'll tell you that, like morality, evil is what society in a given time has
Bedtime is
decided
a
is
social construct.
unacceptable. That's it. Therefore, examining evil in storytelling will tell the stuffy English lit majors what ails society. If you ever want to check and see if an English lit major is worth your
That does explain a lot when it comes to movies, because like are made these days about like it needs a message and a theme, and it has to reflect the society we live in. It's like, no, it really doesn't. Like it sometimes like things come out naturally from a story about the current world we live in. Um it's just sort of inherent that like when you make a story, it's going to reflect something with the author's intentions.
time and money, you can go online and read the dissertations of lit majors from colleges all across America, which is, something I did because I'm that kind of crazy. And you see this pervading line of thought running through these papers. I was searching mainly for theses on the subject of villainy, but this is all I found. Paper after paper about
Creative versions of truth identify in Margaret Atwood's The Robber Bride, Alice Grace, and The Blind Assassin. Ooh, these are submitted. According for degree, Master of Arts, Department of English. Postmodern puzzles.
how villainy is a social construct and what specifically various iterations of villainy say about society at a given time. There's a foundational presupposition at play here. According to modern literary thinking and philosophical thinking, evil itself is not a thing that can occur. This is just a given to a modern lit major. Evil can't be defined because good doesn't exist, philosophically speaking. So you see, to the modern writer, there is no good and there is no evil. Therefore, all stories do is tell us what society thinks at a given time. Therefore, anything that is marked villain by society and put in the antagonist column in a story is currently the victim of some kind of social stigma. You see this a lot with
It does remind me of stuff that comes out of Disney. It really does. Like I'm sorry to pick on them so much. It's just no, I don't. I like picking on them, but like it's sort of like no, you're not a villain. You're just misunderstood. Like yeah, okay. Explain that about the robot. Like, jeez.
with postmodern examinations of old stories like Beowulf, where the monster interpreted to be some kind of victim. You also see this with modern interpretations of fairy tales, where people decide that all these stories mean is that women were being vilified, and that's why the evil stepmother is so often the villain. Besides being tediously absurd, I also find this entire approach to literature embarrassingly arrogant. So, according to writers these days, the only modern socially appropriate way to approach the villain is to apply one or more of the following postmodern principles of morality. First, you can make...
I'm sorry. What's going on?
Oh, sorry, I just finished putting together the source thing
Okay.
because I had to type them out manually.
Okay.
Make the villain sympathetic. Because, he's not actually a villain, he is just the victim of current year social constructs. Or you can make him a symbol for modern acceptable social evil, whatever that is.
Yeah, that is sort of interesting.
Hang on, sorry, that second one. I mean, the second one definitely happens, but it's like, I'm not sure really what that has to do with anything she just said, because that's different. That implies that evil does exist.
Yes, because, well, I think it's what's socially allowed to be evil at the moment. Yeah, that's sort of disconnected from what she was saying, but I get the intent, because like there's always like certain people you're allowed to say are bad people, even though there's no such thing as evil. So it's like, wait, so I wonder if this is the postmodern thing of like not being able to being contradictory, but I don't know, maybe she'll explain it.
Current year social evil.
Mm-hmm.
I think currently it's fascism, but I haven't checked in a couple hours, so it might be something else now.
Well, it's
I
called
wouldn't say that's a current
grifter.
year thing.
It's called grifter now. You're called a grifter.
Oh God, don't.
Yeah, it's like it's either Nazi, fascist, grifter, same thing, or white man. Which other?
In other words, the villain isn't a villain. He is either a victim of social misconceptions, or his past, or the patriarchy, or whatever. Or he's not so much a villain as he is a stand-in for the writer's idea of what is wrong with our society right now. There's a reason so many...
Okay, that's what she means. Yeah. Okay, that's more
Which,
acceptable.
again, isn't inherently a problem.
Oh, what is?
Again, that's not inherently a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely how you execute it, I would say. But like when you make that the focus,
It's all an execution.
yes, when you make the focus though, and you're not good at writing because you're too focused on like making sure making sure you're have so much symbolism and theme, you kind of forget about the rest of it.
Many of the biggest popular productions
You have
these
to make the
days
functional
feature
characters for one thing.
You need functional.
So that they're
fascism
believable.
Oh, look at this. Hold on. Whoa. We're making fun of Andor.
or
Oh god, is
he's
this
not
gonna
so
have
much a
spoilers?
villain
Probably. I don't know.
as he is a stand-in for the writer's idea of what is wrong with our society right now. There's a reason so many of the biggest popular productions these days feature fascism, or the patriarchy, or whatever happens to be big and trending on social media as the big bad guy. It's worth...
Well, those two things are
Hmm.
executed differently. Andor is very good at doing that sort of thing, and it
Yeah,
doesn't.
and Andor's execution also like
Mhm.
acknowledges that these things are evil.
Yes.
They're not just social evils, you know.
Yes, correct. But like using them as stand-ins, I don't think that was a good thing to do because The Handmaid's Tale is liked, but the problem is that like a lot of people use it as a stand-in for what they think society's doing to them. It's actually the other way around. People are interpreting as like, oh my gosh, what's happening in the United States right now, and they go on protest with their Handmaid's Tale stuff on, and it's like, I don't think this is the same. I've seen a Handmaid's Tale with my mom a little bit, and it's like, yeah, that's a dictatorship. It's completely different.
Noting, from time to time, there's also a third option, the one in which the villain, was right all along, and he just went about it the wrong way. Done right, this is the only variation on modern villainy that's even somewhat tolerable. It's just basically
What the fuck are you
never
talking
done.
about? What?
Oh.
So
Mm-hmm.
hold on. She just said that the first two like can't be done well, basically.
When it
Yeah,
comes
she
to
essentially
safe
said
evil,
that.
She's not going to
when
acknowledge
it
that
comes to safe
execution is a
evil,
major part
yes.
of this.
Yeah, because she said the third one is like the only one that's like probable, right? Repeat what she
Yes.
said.
Yes, correct. Let's go back.
Tolerable is what
Fascism,
she
or
said.
the patriarchy, or whatever happens to be big and trending
She's-
on social media
She's
as
getting to
the
this point where she's trying to say that, like, having your villain be a stand-in for some kind of modern evil or current day evil is inherently a bad thing, essentially.
When it
Because
comes to
they were
when
right
it comes
all
to
along approach is
postmodernism,
tolerable.
I think it's what she's saying. Yes, more often than not, it's a bad thing.
Yes, and
Mhm.
that's. I don't think she said more often than not. She was saying, she was kind of implying that it's an inherent thing.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Because
You-
again,
you
she just
messed up.
pointed to Andor as an example, like
Yep.
it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a good example.
It's like, but it criticizes fascistic and totalitarian
Ways, yeah.
regimes really well,
It
really well.
it really does, and it shows like them being competent, which is something we don't see very much because the usually social pariah that they're using is just, well, these fascist things are evil, and it's sort of like The Boys. It doesn't have any nuance, it's like, or anything like that. They're not competent. They're just
And
powerful because.
big bad guy.
and
It's
what
worth
about that
noting
about sympathetic villains?
Mhm.
That you can't do sympathetic villains well, ones who are products of their environment.
Well, Joker, it's absolutely villain
Yeah,
origin.
Joker,
Yeah.
Joker is absolutely an example of this.
Yep,
It's
yep,
like,
yep, yep, yep.
he is done well because again, the story still acknowledges that he's evil, like that his actions are evil by showing him do the evil thing.
He's sympathetic up to a point. I will say that as a caveat because sooner or later he does start doing stuff that's like, man, that's really evil. It's like,
Yeah,
but
it's sort of testing your levels of sympathy to a degree.
it really
But to
does.
think of an example that's about to think of an example that's a bit more they are sympathetic throughout. Again, I'd point to Banshees of Inisherin and Column in particular. Um, because there is a degree that like the world he lives in right now is what is motivating his actions. And again, he does do some pretty nasty stuff, but again, he maintains sympathetic partly because again, it's I'd hesitate to actually call him a villain as I said before, but he works as a sympathetic antagonist and in this kind of way. But his actions are still acknowledged as evil
Yeah, it's
and as doing harm to people.
it's tough to as much as say like writing is easy, it's really not. When it comes to the more complex stuff, you really have to dig deep when it comes to like humans that are like that you want to portray as sympathetic but also doing some horrible things. Um a
Oh,
lot of
actually, I just remembered
Mhm.
most of Better Call Saul functions this way.
Mm,
They are hateable villains, but they still have a lot of sympathetic qualities, with
it's
one exception.
it's
I think the cartel obviously doesn't, but people like actually no, that's a spoiler. There is a very major character who is one of the most hateable people ever, but also maintains this incredibly sympathetic quality.
there's what was it? I remember there's a episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where the main character uh Benjamin Sisko, that's his character name anyway. And he has to cross a bunch of lines that he said he would never do just so he can so he does it for the greater good, but it cost him his like integrity, his soul. And it's like it's a really great episode about like what do you do for the, you know, how far do you have to go in order to like reach a greater thing. It's kind of reminds me of like
Mm.
Andor in a way when it comes to Lucius is his name, the guy in charge who wants to, who says like I won't change the world but the people after me will. It's like it's such a, there's some great stuff in there.
Uh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is that season 2?
No, it's season 1 where he
I won't. Oh, Luthen.
Luthen. Yeah, Luthen, sorry.
Yeah. Back to Better Call Saul. The main characters,
Hmm.
uh, Jimmy and Mike. They are they are protagonists, and yet they are very clearly bad people. And yet they maintain a sympathetic quality through the entire show. Like you sympathize with them the entire time, and you get behind them the entire time. Yet they are very clearly bad people. That's the thing.
Yep,
Like, you can do these types while still acknowledging the evil in the character.
absolutely. Like sometimes it can be a necessary evil. Like you put them in the chair in order to be like you need to be there because there's worse people out there.
Who's the chick from Metal Gear Solid?
Uh,
I want to say 3 or 4.
you talking about Quiet or what?
No, Quiet is from
Oh,
That was
5.
5.
Okay, I have no idea.
3 or 4 are like
I know
the
nothing about Metal Gear.
She's
uh,
is she that blonde lady from Snake Eater?
yeah, she's the one that has like the surgical scars on her,
I had no idea. Sorry.
because she does a lot of horrendous shit throughout the game, and it's revealed that she did all this as a psyop, to help the country you're fighting for.
Mm. Like yeah. There's a lot of things you could do with like villains have a point. You know, it's like yeah. I think what she's trying to say is something like Black Panther, where it's like I'll it's where it's like Killmonger had a point. It's like not really, no. But like again, your mind has to do the work a little bit. You could squeeze this out in the script, though.
From time to time, there's also a third option, the one in which the villain, was right all along and he just went about it the wrong way. Done right, this is the only variation on modern villainy that's even somewhat tolerable. It's just basically
Somewhat,
never done.
really.
Somewhat tolerable. Yeah.
Somewhat tolerable.
Somewhat tolerable.
Yep.
So making your making your
Okay, what about
villain
villain
sympathetic.
protagonist stories?
Mhm.
Yeah, making your villain sympathetic is not tolerable.
I need to stand up. Sorry.
What about Sophia from the Penguin?
What about the Penguin in general? Like,
Yeah, the Penguin. Well, Sophia specifically, because again, part of what
Excuse me.
part of the reason why she's so antagonistic, is because Oz is such a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, she isn't that bad a person. Like, she definitely has evil qualities, but in many ways she is right.
Yeah, all the stuff that she does is all because of how she was treated by everybody else.
There's
Oh, what do you know? She's another product of her environment villain.
I think that, like,
But she's done well because she's well written and she makes sense and all that.
I think doing it from the POV,
And they don't shy away when she actually does bad things.
sorry.
You're fine. Go ahead.
I think, like, I wish she would put in front of these things, like, caveats or something. But, like, again, we're just supposed to go with the flow,
she should,
sort of
but
thing.
she's still very much implying things that are not that just aren't true. Like, done right, it's only somewhat tolerable. Like, no, that can be great sometimes.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where ideas are hard. No. I mean, like, ideas are easy. It's the execution.
Ideas are easy.
Yeah. Ideas are easy. Sort of thing. But, like, you were almost there. She was so close. Like,
Right.
Yeah, it's fine to define these as being common trends, but it's like you're really gonna have to explain what's wrong with them.
or
And
like,
you've got to have
how.
to explain really well how they're inherently problematic.
Yeah, it's like, because I'm picturing stuff in my head, but that's because I'm going to the worst stuff possible that I could think of. Where it's like, but then, as
Yeah,
you guys,
we need to take a bit of a total mindset when it comes to these.
yes, which is,
We got to acknowledge what could be.
it could be fine, but, like, that's why you show examples, like, especially 3. 3 is a narrative tripling.
Oh yeah, narrative tripling.
Yes.
Before we get into examples, I want to take a moment to talk
Oh.
about the problem with the overemphasis on sympathetic villains.
Okay.
Yeah, I know she was going to get to examples, but it's just I disagree with the premise.
Yeah.
That these are
True.
inherently problematic.
Yeah, I do agree. I'm trying to be as good faith as possible, but yeah, I do agree that, like, she needs to. I think she needs when she does one thing, she needs an example next. That way, you don't let it linger.
Yeah. This video has been a bit of a mixed bag so far. Like, there's been some really interesting stuff said.
I don't think
but
it's not. It's
also
not
some
bad
things that are,
video.
like, very
It's just,
disagreeable.
but, like, it's definitely something in here that's, like, you could take home with you.
Maybe I'm being bad faith because I'm still annoyed about the sources.
It's cool. But I need to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Entertain.
All right, intermission time.
Oh, that's right. I need that.
Falco, do you have an intermission sign? You need to make an intermission sign.
I do have one of those. Watch this. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'll be right back.
And
now I have to wait a few seconds because of the stream lag.
I think I know what it looks like. Oh, there we go.
It's no We'd Be Ricked back, but it's close.
Yeah, it's not the superior frog of the intermission, but it is something.
Anyway, just based on the premise of the video as a whole, that being that evil isn't being acknowledged, I think Nuremberg actually acts as a pretty good counter to this idea, that evil can't be defined, because Nuremberg basically has a protagonist with that mindset whose mind is changed through his interactions with Goering.
Right.
Watch Nuremberg. That's all I'm gonna say. Just watch Nuremberg.
Yeah, I've never seen Nuremberg, so I don't know what else to say. Well, actually, it's funny that she brings up characters like Morgoth as like, you know, the evil creature. And it's just like, yeah, it's true. There are like strictly evil characters in Lord of the Rings, but what does she have to say about Gollum? Gollum is a sympathetic villain.
True. Well, up to a point.
I think it's worth noting that
Oops.
Lord of the Rings goes out of its way to make clear what evil is.
Yes. No.
Right? But at the same
And,
time, Gollum's...
and explores evil in its many forms through the ring.
Sorry.
Yeah, yes, but Gollum is still, by definition, a sympathetic villain, given the fact that he is a villain with multiple layers other than evil.
Well, of course he has multiple
And
layers.
also
He
a
has
product
two
of his environment.
personalities.
And also, he's a product of his environment, that being the ring.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is... Yeah, that's true. But he's
Well,
still kind of sympathetic because it preyed on his mind and... You know...
Well, here's the thing, because yes, Gollum has two personalities, but
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm looking too into it, but I thought that in the extended cut of Return of the King, when Frodo says Smeagol swore on the precious, Smeagol promised, and then Gollum says Smeagol lied. I thought that was meant to. I thought that was meant to interpret that no matter what personality Gollum showed, Smeagol was always at the driver's seat.
Well, I think it's that they both agreed that they want the ring back. I think that's the
Pretty
Hawkins
much, yeah.
razor of it. Like because the ring is every
It doesn't matter who's in
Mhm.
control.
True.
They're still the way they are.
Yes. It's the only reason Smeagol Frodo got the Smeagol in the first place is he called him by his name, then he treated him like a person, and then he saw the little, and then after he got his trust back and he was free from Gollum, he got betrayed, which Gollum said would happen. So it's like, it's that
Well,
simple.
I may be wrong. I wish Normie was here because Normie's read the books, but
I'm just talking about the movie. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm trying to bring up. The split personality was a movie invention, was it not?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think it was.
No.
Those in the comments, could you confirm whether or not the split personality was a movie invention?
Hey, hold on. I think, yeah, true. People in the comics. Do you think he had one or two?
People in the comics.
People in the comics.
People in the comics. Yeah, there you go. Hello, had to. Yeah, hello, had to. Yes, I agree with that guy.
I agree with that guy in particular.
Hello, I got to. Sounds like a poo. Anyways, okay, examples are coming. Can't wait.
We'll discuss this a little more when we look at examples, but this is one
What
of
the
those
fuck?
good things,
What?
bad things.
What is it? What is it?
I tried to type it. I
What the
swore
fuck?
I typed in bird wrong.
Oh,
Why didn't
did you
I
get
saw
auto-corrected
that.
like me? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw that it changed it from wrong to krong.
Krog!
Krong.
Krog! He's like a caveman.
So,
Bird
anti-spell
Grog.
check.
Spell check kills everybody. Okay? In fact, it's even worse on Super Chats. It will just display 5 words I never like typed. And it's like, how did you get that? How? It's like, I'm not even joking. It's happened so many times. I have to switch to my keyboard because super chats on mobile, they really suck. But anyways, I drink so much water. Hold on, I need to find a measurement of some kind of this thing. I think it's been drilled away by the thing. Oh, hold on. Okay, here we go. 3F. What does that mean? 3F. 4. Oh, 7 p.m. Okay, so I've been drinking so much water. This jug I have, it used to be full. Now it's not. Anyway.
Could you imagine Falco getting drunk on water?
I'm not drunk. I'm just like, I'm trying to read these words, but they've been like...
You haven't been drinking hard enough.
What? You know, it's hard to read these things when they've been away. Inertiaed away by the water. Yeah, that's it.
Falco, I think you're drinking too much water there. You're the fucking problem.
You're the problem.
The idea with humanizing or making your villain sympathetic is that it makes the character more interesting. In the cases of characters who are not, Lucifer as Morningstar or Morgoth, in other words, characters who are people too, it also lends believable realism to the story. This is all true. But the problem comes when the writer tries to locate the specific ways in which the villain ought to be humanized. Take this article, for example. This details some pretty good tips for constructing interesting villains.
Hold on.
The villain
I want to read that again.
Take this.
Oh my god, it's another on-screen link. God fucking damn it.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm going to add it to the paste bin.
For writing a truly terrifying villain. Fail safe.
This article, for example. This details some pretty good tips for constructing interesting villains. I particularly want to highlight this quote, however. The best villains are the ones who are trying to do good, not the blow everything up type. Your bad guy can't go around kicking puppies all day. He shouldn't be pure evil all the time.
Explain Dio. He kicks dogs.
Yeah, this is too far in the opposite direction with the premise that I had, that I had an issue with, which is that, yeah, you absolutely can do pure evil.
Yes, you can.
Like,
I'm doing that in my story, but it's under certain conditions, because
like
yeah.
If we were to really look at stuff that there is still modern movies or shows that adapt villains as pure evil sometimes.
Jack Horner.
Well, Jack Horner, Oswald Cobb in the Penguin Show, Orlok in Nosferatu.
Yeah, but of course.
Goering in Nuremberg.
If I did a thing on safe evil, I would make it a little bit differently. Yeah, I would be like, listen, we can't keep skipping around, like tiptoeing around broken glass. All right,
because that example that I brought up in the beginning of the video, where I said that Magnifico is safe evil. That's mainly because it's not just the idea of making a sympathetic villain evil. It's more so they were going with the direction of making him sympathetic, only to quickly turn it around and completely remove that deep aspect to his character. They showed character and then they removed character. There are many ways you can interpret. There are many ways you can interpret safe evil, whether it be making your character too evil or making your character too sympathetic.
Yeah. There can be ways of making him too evil.
You suddenly introduce a tragic backstory that has nothing to do with how they act.
Oh yeah, that's the opposite of Jack Horner. I had loving parents. I had a good loving home.
Yeah, that's a great joke at the expense of those kinds of villains.
I know, it's so great.
Useless crap like that.
Useless crap like that. You're even doing a monster. Well, no, what took you so long?
You're not gonna shoot that puppy, are you, Jack? Yeah, in the face. Why?
I thought it was much worse when I first saw it or whatever. I was like, he's like, you're not gonna shoot it in the face, are you? Yeah. You're not gonna shoot a puppy, are you? Yeah, in the face. Watch. Like, like, oh my gosh.
No, he says why. Like
I know.
Yeah, he says
It's
why.
like-
But I thought it was much different.
But I love the implication there that he's confused as to why anyone would object to this.
Yeah. I don't know. I do like watch better than why. It's like I'm like no.
Jack, no.
No, Jack, don't say that. No. No. Anyways, I don't know. It can't go around kicking puppies. Yeah. In a realistic story, yes, but I don't know. Like, I would just love that if the villain
What if
goes.
you're doing a comedy?
Yeah, what if you're doing a comedy or like, like Kung Pao into the fist? It's like, I like beating people in my
Yeah.
town. Welcome.
Another good example of like a villain who is really terrible as a person, but also has some sympathy to him is Kingpin in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Because in that story you have Wilson Fisk, who is a really awful person in terms of forcing his way to do things the way he wants things to go. And in this case, he wants to bring his family back because of a tussle he had with Spider-Man that led to his family and being killed. And while you do feel sorry for him for losing his family, you also have to understand that he's doing some really terrible methods in terms of, well, first up, the thing that led to his family being killed is because he was doing bad things, and the methods he does to try and get his family back is very questionable.
It doesn't excuse his actions.
Yeah, it doesn't excuse his actions.
Almost as if people can have multiple facets of how they feel about someone. Again, I'd say the main villain of the first half of Better Call Saul does this beautifully. But again, saying who that is would be a spoiler.
It's sort of like that's why I didn't go into the cases like Deep Space Nine and all that stuff. I was like, man, it's really good. Like how, like it turns like this guy who has so much dignity into this guy who just all of a sudden turns into this villainous character because he's trying to do it for the greater cause and the greater good, which he thinks will save the entire Federation. It's it's so good.
Let's go back to Steven Universe, because that's like a perfect example. That's a perfect example of, how dare you bring up that fucking character. Anyways, but going back to Steven Universe, it's like that show tries to make Blue and Yellow Diamond like sympathetic, but it doesn't make sense ultimately, because it's just like, oh, they just miss Pink Diamond, and that's why Blue Diamond has a human zoo, and why Yellow Diamond wants to fucking genocide planets full of humans.
I love the Steven Universe like meme. It's like he and he's talking to Griffith, and he's like, "Hey guys," he says it's okay, guys. He says he's sorry.
Yeah, there's that same comic, but with Hitler.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
He says he's sorry, guys.
It's like, man. Anyways, sometimes like it's kind of funny. Yu Yu Hakusho has sympathetic villains, but sometimes it doesn't work out that good because it's all about retconning sometimes, and that sort of defeats the purpose of their entire beginning, like arc of the of that story arc. Like that sucks. But anyways.
Time. Show him tucking his daughter into bed. Show her helping an old lady across the street. Show him jumping in front of a runaway horse.
Yeah? What's going on?
Silco from Arcane Season 1.
Oh, Silco's
Oh
great.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Course, to keep it from
Uh,
trampling some beggars. Just like your hero needs to be flawed and not perfect all the time, your villain should show some light in the midst of all their darkness.
Well, it's kind of the yin yang principle, isn't it? Where it's like, no matter how much in the black or white they are, there's always a speck of the opposite. You know.
well, actually, yeah. What does she have to say about villains like Silco? Because Silco is a morally
Dubious.
irreprehensible person.
Sure.
Reprehensible.
Yeah, reprehensible. God damn it.
Hey.
But
We're all
even
failing with words today.
Mhm.
in spite of all that cruelness and cruelness. In spite of all that cruelness, he does show some good parts of himself where he tries to take care of Powder and treat her well. Sure, she becomes mentally fucking damaged, but that's not all because of Silco.
Oh yeah, that's like in fact one of the things that happens is near the end of his life, and he's like,
Oh.
don't you dare like start this war, but she does it anyway. It's like, oh.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not what happens.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
because so
Like he says that he would rather go to war than give her up.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
My bad. Yeah.
In fact, the words that ring throughout Jinx's ears is "We'll show them. We will show them all."
I think he also had some respect from for the guy who took care of them all those years, even though it's like I can't remember his name. He
Vander.
he owned the bar.
Vander. Yeah, Vander.
Yeah, Vander. He definitely had some respect for Vander. I think
Yeah,
Yeah, lots of respect.
Well, actually, he grew respect for Vander because it all started when Vander tried to drown him. He hated him back then, but he had Vander's respect because it helped Silco grow into the person that he became, which is not good. But from Silco's perspective, it's definitely good in his eyes.
I think that's why
but-
he raised
but-
that's partially why he raised Powder.
Yeah. Well, he saw himself in Powder, but then there was
Mhm.
also the fact that when it came to the same decision that Vander had to go through in either giving up his children or keeping them safe. Once Silco got into that same situation, he poured a drink for Vander and was like, "Yeah, I understand what you mean now."
Mm-hmm. It's really cool stuff. I need to see that season again. To be fair, I haven't seen it for a long time.
Yes, season 1 is some fantastic shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this isn't wrong per se.
And
It
there
is
was never
more
a second
interesting and
season.
often more realistic to show that there is still some good there that's very much in keeping with our view of evil as an absence of good. 99.99% of the time, there will still be some good remaining. But it's her examples here that I want to point out. When a character who is a villain abandons goodness as he gradually comes to embrace, for lack of a better term, the dark path, he will, in a sense, pick and choose what good remains. And the goodness that he chooses to hang on to will be in keeping with his character. A narcissist who is
It sort of reminds me of like how Vampire the Masquerade has been kind of butchered when it comes to that sort of stuff. It's like, I'm a vampire, I'm just evil now. It's like, no, you forget that you used to be human. Morality is a part of your code. It's
This
really
is something
it's really hard to discard that sort of system, and it works into a new kind of morality, but you still hold on to your human side.
This is something not a lot of people mention in terms of the prequels of Star Wars.
Oh,
It's the scene. It's the "I'm so sorry" scene, which has one of the best tracks in the whole trilogy. But in that scene, after Anakin has done everything Palpatine asked him for, or asked him to do, kill the Jedi in the Jedi Temple, even the younglings, kill the rest of the Separatist leaders, so that they can have a clean sweep over control over the galaxy. After he has done everything Palpatine asked him to do, there is that one shot where Anakin is looking at the vast land of Mustafar and sheds a tear.
Yes,
Uh,
I
because
do remember that. Yeah.
despite the fact that Anakin feels like he's doing the right thing and making sure there's a safe path for Padme, he still doesn't fully understand what he's doing.
Well, have you ever heard of a movie called A Time to Kill?
I think I've heard of that, but I don't
It's
think I've
Samuel
seen
L.
it.
Jackson. He it's in the Deep South during the not quite out of the 60s. I think it might be the 70s, which means like let's just say racial things are not good in the South, and his daughter gets picked up by two two white people, and they have their way, and she's not dead, but she's damaged, and so in a fit of rage, he goes up to them, and when he's let go, because these two boys are let go, um and no justice, he shoots them out of pure rage. And so it's the thing is, though, the case against him have being murdered is that, well, he was insane at the time. And so the whole trial is the lawyers trying to get him to say, like, you need to, like, you trying to prove that, like, he was insane at the time. And the father is like, no, I knew what I was doing the whole time. So it's a very interesting story. It's a check it out. You just remind me of that. Good stuff. Because like there is such a thing as like you may be doing things out of motions, but maybe you do choices, but maybe you're not really thinking about them. Maybe you're just automatically doing it because your emotions have led you to a point. That can happen.
Who's only out for his own benefit might still experience enough of a fatherly bond to tuck his daughter into bed at night, sure, but he's unlikely to be moved to action by the sight of some beggars in danger. A lot of unrealistic, sympathetic villains stem from this problem. The writer started out with the best of intentions, but wasn't sure where specifically the villain's goodness still remained. Most often, this is due merely to the fact that most people see villainy as a social construct. So, to those writers, goodness and badness are pretty random and open to subjective interpretation. So they just randomly pick good traits that they think are most likely to tug at the emotions of the audience. The traits are not...
Oh, that's interesting. Having emotions that sort of tug to the... Well, isn't that what writers are supposed to do?
I think we're probably going to see
the point here is that it's random. It's not...
Okay.
Yeah, I think she might...
It's not put into their characters.
Yeah,
okay.
I think she might. I think she might pull up the Kylo example.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something. It's like
Renly Kylo.
That's the most example.
Good old Renly Kylo.
Yep, Kylo Ben.
One of the most inconsistent characters of all time. Kylo Ben.
Well, it's kind of that's the thing though.
And
he's consistent at being non-consistent.
That we've talked about so far.
Huh?
That's true. That's true.
No, but I mean, like, what did you say? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
With all the sympathetic villains that we talked about that are like actually good sympathetic villains, their sympathetic qualities and their good qualities are very consistent, and they are more, intertwined with their negative qualities. Sophia Falcone, for instance. She has a very clear moral code to some degree. But she's still very willing to kill someone that she thinks is outright against her.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of
including what was essentially a random teenager, though that's more a failure. Though that's more a moral failing on Oswald by accusing him of lying.
one of the one of the things that they make sure to make very clear in terms of what Sophia stands for. Uh, it's I
Oh.
okay. So minor spoilers for Penguin. So cover your ears, everybody. But the the dinner table scene where she's basically telling off all of the Falcone family. Uh, and she basically sees this innocence within uh one of the family members, which is a child, and the the show makes it very clear that while Sophia is willing to do some horrendous shit to the people she dislikes, including the Falcone family, she will not she will stand against any sort of harm towards innocent children. Uh,
Oh. Yeah, it's sort
Except the
of
one teenager that she shoots in episode 1. But to be
uh,
fair, there was a
yeah.
to be
precedence for that.
yeah. To be fair,
There was a reason she did that still.
yeah.
So there's a difference between like chaotic evil and like lawful evil. I think the lawful evil is more likely to do the more have good qualities. Because it's like there's a reason why it's called lawful evil, is because there's a law to bind their actions. Um or a personal creed or some of some kind, like the evil knight. Yeah, he'll do anything to get power, but he will always have um it's a sort of way of like how he treats himself. Like if you are unarmed, he will give you a sword so he can duel you with his full power, and stuff like that. There's some kind of code there.
There, there's also the sense of, let's say, Davy Jones from the Pirates franchise.
Oh boy,
The
another
the
one.
mov- the movies are very clear on what he stands for, and that's basically nothing at all other than building up his crew. It's only by bits of the second one and the third one that we learned that he does have some sympathy for those who are in a romance that others do not want. But at the same time, he feels that heartbreak is inevitable, and
Mhm.
what's the line he says is just like, life is cruel. Why should the afterlife be any different?
Yes.
uh he's basically of this standpoint that no matter how good life may seem or will be, there will always be heartbreak, and that is just something that he has taken up as, yeah, it's inevitable.
Usually consistent with the person's character. So it creates contradictions that
Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit. I was gonna say like there's a lot of characteristics that are sort of inherent when you're writing something. Is that the cause and effect of everything. Because when you write a character to be a certain way, it will just naturally happen. Like when they mess up, or
By the way,
whatever. Mhm.
I forgot about the line in Pirates 3, love a dreadful bond.
Okay. So what I mean is like
Yeah, sorry. I just didn't want to forget that.
okay. Yeah, it's sort of what I mean. It's like if you write them that way, then it shouldn't be a problem when they come across something, because you've already wrote them to be a character.
and
Yeah.
badness are pretty random and open to subjective interpretation. So they just randomly pick good traits that they think are most likely to tug at the emotions of the audience. The traits are not usually consistent with the person's character. So it creates contradictions that don't ring true. This kind of thing is done by writers to create uncomfortable contradictions that would supposedly be compelling to the audience. But in the end, it's just contradictory. But aside from issues of bad writing like that, you probably don't really need me to tell you that most modern writers sympathetic villains have just become a synonym for the real hero of the story, which again goes back to a
The real hero of the story. Again, I can't help but think of Kylo Ren for some reason, or like
Kylo Ben.
yeah, or like I kind of see where she's coming from, but I hope she goes into more detail about like what she's talking about.
Yeah, I
rejection
need some
of
examples.
of the concept of good and evil. In a postmodern literary society such as our own, we can no longer just, engage with the story. It all has to be meta. The story isn't what's important. What's important is the story's meditation on, or examination of, or deconstruction of some aspect of society. This isn't a villain, it's what evil, vicious society has decided unjustly is villainous. Objective reality no longer exists.
Yeah, I do see that all the time, and it does bother
Okay,
me.
but what are your examples? Can you please give me some examples?
That'd be neat.
Let's get to the examples.
Now it's just
you could structure this video better. Maybe you could have the point that you're making and then the examples.
Yeah, that's very common.
your truth and my truth and social constructs. If you think such a world can ever create a meaningful story, much less villain, you're in for a long, rude awakening. In the same way that modern artists have to perch next to their random canvas of cerulean smears and banana peels and then explain to passersby that it's a meditation on, I don't know, post-colonialism, that attitude permeates not just art, but also literature. You and I and everyone with a brain knows that this is boring. Approaching villains like this is boring and also toothless. Stories are meandering.
You leave the dragon out of this. Anyways.
Is boring and also toothless. Stories are meandering, pointless wastelands that can't do anything because without the certainty of some kind of good and evil, nothing actually matters. There are no heroes, there are no villains. Who cares who wins? Who cares what happens in the end?
Wait a moment.
Yeah, that's
wait a moment.
I have a problem.
Wait, what?
Because
Can you play again what she said?
Oh, okay. I hold on. I want to get my point out real quick before I forget. So a story doesn't necessarily need conflict, and what I mean is like a person-to-person conflict. Like it doesn't need a hero or a villain. It doesn't need any of those things. It doesn't even need good or evil. Sometimes a story can be just people walking around telling stories. Like it doesn't. It's let's see. What is a story that has this sort of thing? The beginning of I don't know. The beginning of Up. That's a complete story, huh?
Banshees of Inisherin.
There's a lot of conflict when it comes to time, I guess, but like, it's just that there's just some things that don't have antagonists at all, and they're executed and they're executed like brilliantly because of it.
I don't fully agree with that point. It's just like without evil, there's no perfect understanding, and there are no heroes or villains. It's like no, there could still be heroes and villains. It's just that in order for someone to be evil, there are some things that come with that. That you could still have a villain that isn't inherently evil. You could still have that.
True.
It's just
that's what we call antagonist. Yeah.
I don't think we should just group these things together as like the end all be all. It's like there are many different aspects to writing certain characters.
A lot of like there are friendly rivals. They are antagonists, but they're not really but it's not a villain. Like remember Dinosaurs? That movie. Yeah. So there's two antagonists. Which is there's a grumpy dinosaur, and then there's the other grumpy dinosaur, and both of them have like one of them comes around and says, "Yeah, we need to do things differently," and the other one does not.
I love that description. It's just like there There are two bad dinosaurs. There's the one grumpy dinosaur, and then there's the
Other
other grumpy dinosaur.
You know what? They're both kind of grumpy because it's the extinction of the dinosaurs, and they're very grumpy about that. So
Yeah.
and so like they're both antagonists at first because like you're new. What do you know about being a herd? So it's like they're rightfully kind of dismissing him, but one listens, and it becomes more of a sort of a rival kind of thing going on. And then there's the other guy who's like, nah, things have always been this way. If we change, we're throwing away like our survival instincts. It's like it's a very neat dichotomy that you get both of them. So yeah, it's quite it's not always as good. It's always as good as you make it.
Nothing matters, let's all go home and eat dirt or whatever.
I think this is just her personal journey against this whole thing. This is foreign spoiler vlog. It'd be nice to have examples.
We're 21 minutes in.
Yeah, let's get the examples, please.
What is happening?
We only have one.
Okay, that's all theory. So let's talk about what happens when you get hip deep in postmodernism and start screwing around with this like a toddler. We'll do some bad examples and some good examples, and I'm going to focus mainly on film and television for this video, but this applies to books too, obviously. Let's start with The Fall. I watched
What's The Fall? I've never heard of this.
I have never
Me
heard of
either.
this.
Yeah, okay,
so
let's go.
Here's how she explains it.
I could of this for Gillian Anderson. I liked the premise of a cold, seasoned investigator versus a vicious reptilian serial killer. Heh. Here's how it went with The Fall. I've watched and read some interviews with the writer, and I've been able to more or less cobble together his storytelling philosophy with this villain. First of all, like all good, trendy writers these days, he's humanized his villain. That's fine. There's nothing really wrong with humanizing a villain per se, as we've discussed. So in this case, when we're shown so much of the human side...
There's a problem with that statement. It's like, I have no problem with humanizing a villain. But I thought you've implied that making a villain sympathetic is not tolerable.
It's half tolerable, she said.
No, because she said making the villain kind of like the hero is somewhat tolerable compared to the others, and
the
one of
only
those
one
being,
that is somewhat tolerable.
yeah, the only one that's somewhat tolerable, while making a villain sympathetic is not tolerable according to her statement. So you're already contradicting yourself here, lady.
A bit. I don't think she thinks she is. I think that like this is. I think what she's going for
through this video very much.
I think what she meant. I think she thinks it's obvious that like if you want to write that way, that's fine. You just have to be consistent with it. The problem is like you need to write that down. Make sure you're clear.
I'm hoping she's going to explain what happens in this, and doesn't just assume that we've watched it already.
I hope not to.
In this case, when we're shown so much of the human side of the serial killer, one assumes it's meant to make us feel uncomfortable. It's heartwarming how well he treats his wife and child. It's horrific how cold and disgusting his murderous urges are. The juxtaposition, I think, is meant to be uncomfortable. As I said in my video about morality and heroism, making the audience uncomfortable is a cheap shortcut to grabbing their attention. It doesn't require good writing. It is not good writing. Okay, but remember, Alan
Kibitz... Wait a fucking minute. What?
Interesting.
So making your audience uncomfortable. He is a serial killer. Serial killers constantly keep up a facade. Like they will act really kind one moment, and then the next moment. That's not bad, right? That's not bad writing. That's just reality.
That's good writing.
So making your audience uncomfortable just
to
because.
Show them, like...
Okay. If I had to be best version, real quick, is that like I think what she's saying is when you show the facade. And then when you show him doing horrific things the next scene, it will just automatically automatically make you feel uncomfortable without needing to write that much.
Yeah.
So is that a
Like-
good thing or a bad thing?
Okay, but that is a valid technique to
No,
make the audience
no.
uncomfortable.
All
though.
right, that's fair. Yeah.
Now, this is a movie based on a real person, but that's kind of the point here.
Jeffrey
Fucking
Dahmer.
fucking Downfall.
Mm-hmm.
Downfall is all about. Well, not all about. It's one of the key aspects to the movie. Is the people around like the people around Hitler, like Hitler's secretaries or his loved ones or stuff like that, is that he will try to act as calm as possible, as nice as possible, but it all coincides with it's contradicted on purpose by the fact that he is such a cruel person that he wishes to death on many of his officers and such for disobeying his orders, that he's so quick to sentence people.
Well,
And
yeah.
and so and the,
Whoa.
hold on, I'll be right back.
What was that? I heard that. Interesting. So
I heard an in the background.
yeah, me too. So like anyways, another thing that I will say about Downfall is that like well, when Hitler was behind closed doors, he would yell a lot, but the thing is though, it's kind of comedic because everyone can hear him. It's something like he's yelling at his generals and every officer within like 50 feet can hear him yell. It's like and he starts saying these things like, and then like when he gets really upset, he's very petty, and so he's like, there will be no more retreats. Like you will stay in Germany and you will die for Germany, because I say so. Like oh, and so when he does the pill thing with his wife or whatever, he does the same thing to like the there are people so fanatical in that movie that like they actually poisoned the kids too because they thought the Russians would do stuff to them, or like because they were so fanatical. Like that was their excuses. It's that the Russians, but like they wanted to do it because it's very much cult like behavior, like Jonestown type of stuff. It's insane. Like, and that movie is hard to get through.
Downfall is really fucking good.
It really is, but
But
I don't know if I want to watch that
this
ever
is
again.
such a strange
Yeah.
reason that she's given so far. That like using juxtaposition, like that using juxtaposition to create discomfort is not good writing. It's like
I can see
that's
how
just
it
it's
could
just
be.
a technique, and they
I-
may have done it well.
I could see how it could be considered cheap, because it's like, yeah, you don't really have to do great writing to come up with it. You just do that. It's like, yeah, I can see what you're thinking, but the thing is, though, there are lots of things that do this successfully. So it's like, so what's the difference?
Yeah, again, she's going on this idea that it's like that these are inherent problems, which is like I can see this being done well, and I have seen this
Mhm.
being done well.
In
Like
video games, they do it well
I
too. Like,
I hate that I can't actually elaborate, but Better Call Saul does this amazingly with
Yeah.
its second half main villain,
I'm back. I'm back.
and-
Sorry about
Where-
oh
that.
no, it's fine.
where that person is awful, but puts on this excellent facade that makes it that
oh,
like
I know.
creates this sort of like quote unquote sympathetic thing, but in reality, like we just see an escalation of him doing more and more ruthless things, and it's just kiss. It makes him one of the most terrifying characters in the entire Breaking Bad saga.
But yeah, my original point was that Downfall is all about
Mhm.
people seeing the uncovering of Hitler's facade, as he's shown
me.
more and more at the end of his ropes as a cruel
Literally.
and unhinged person.
Yeah, and I explained all kind of some of that too, where but like it's kind of funny where like
Yeah, Falco just went and explained the entire movie.
yeah,
Oh, my bad.
it's fine. we all have our own version of it, so to speak. And then like I remember I'm on the JoJo range right now, so why not continue? Kira, at the very beginning of the scene, you see there's a morning radio show going on in the background, and some person's making breakfast. You see it's a woman, but as it pans back, you see a full breakfast, and that hand that was being used was actually being cut off and is bleeding. It's like, whoa, that's like a justification, like that's the opposite of what we just had, and it makes you very uncomfortable because like, what are we going into? It sets the tone for the rest of the show. So it's like you could definitely do that in smart ways, but it's like I do kind of agree though. It's kind of like if it's sort of like the jump scare, right? Where a jump scare can be used effectively, but it's the easiest way to get people's attention, you know?
Yeah, you very easily could just, you know, have him like do just a bit of family time and then suddenly brutal murder, Terrifier style gore,
Mm-hmm.
everything, and then it's just back to that, and it's like, yeah, obviously a well-written character is gonna need more than that, but to say that this technique is like
Inherently
not
bad.
inherent
Yeah.
is inherently bad writing.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
well,
don't think so.
no, it's like, okay, so tell me about his characterization. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we see that he has a family and he's all nice and happy and all that, and then he does the brutal murders. Maybe we only see the bodies and we just know it's him. Um, okay, so what else is there to know about him? If there's nothing, then he is a flat character.
Which is um
And the problem is that he's a flat character, not that he's sympathetic,
well,
or not that they do sympathetic
even with
scenes like
flat
this.
characters, that could still be effective because you don't necessarily need them to be um sort of three-dimensional with what they do. Um you can still make people
Yeah, but at
uncomfortable
least
that
two
way.
dimensions would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that would be nice, but
Two
like
dimensions would be nice.
or even static characters. I should say flat. I should say static because static you can
I
still
was talking
have.
about flat characters, characters with little to no characterization.
Oh yeah, I kill because I killed them. It's good for you. Hmm. I think we might have a part two.
Villain isn't a villain because villains aren't villains anymore. So instead, he's a representation of social constructs. So he is either going to be a victim of society in some way, or he's going to be a representation or meditation on what the writer thinks is wrong with society right now. This fellow is a nice, masculine looking guy who's killing lady folks, so what do you suppose he's representing? If you guessed big, bad, toxic masculinity, you would be correct. Show them what they've won, Vanna. Nothing. Existential dread, I guess. A little artificial manufactured social disruption. Alan Cubitt wanted to make Jamie Dornan's chilling Paul Spector a meditation on toxic masculinity because, according to him, becoming a sadistic serial killer is on the male continuum. No, that's actually what he said.
Um,
Damn, okay.
male behavior. Oh, that's terrible. But here's the thing, though. I'm not gonna use a broken clock, but you can have these views and create something good. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, that's
But
again, she's really not death of the authoring this. It's like, okay, so what's the problem with his characterization?
yeah,
Please
um,
explain.
but
Because
like
right now I'm just being told what approach they took, and you're just saying, well, that's bad.
um, it's I will agree that more often than not it does lead to bad conclusions, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, it can, absolutely. But I don't necessarily know if that's what's happening here because she's
Mm-hmm.
not describing his characterization. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
he's a misogynist who's going out of his way to kill women for maybe for fetishistic reasons. It's like, okay, there are plenty of serial killers that are like that in real life.
Um, is this like a Karen situation? So,
No,
like,
you have
what's
Ted
going
Bundys.
on?
It's like these kinds of
Mhm.
killers do exist, and
Oh, absolutely.
like they can definitely come across as ordinary people outside of that because that's often how they, avoid getting caught for so long. So it's like I don't see any problems yet. She has not highlighted a problem yet. It's like, yeah, sure, the writer has a bit of a strange take
Mm-hmm.
where like they're saying that masculinity itself would lead to this when like no, it's masculinity plus numerous other things.
Yeah, it's if
Like there's still
you
an
could do the
evil that needs
opposite,
to exist, sure, but
you
it's
could
like
you could do the opposite. Like femininity has led to women like being victims. It's like whoa. It's like whoa. Hang on, that's bad news. Don't say that.
yeah, there's still stories. You can still tell a good story with that in mind,
Oh,
though. It's the thing. So
absolutely.
I'm just wondering what. So how is the story bad?
In
I want to
fact,
see that first.
in fact, I think that's Joss Whedon's MO for Buffy. It's like, I don't want the damsel in distress. I want her to be the hero. Like, let's turn the tables. Let's have feminism, and he made a great show out of it. So,
Yeah.
This writer chose to build the entire idea of his villain character, Paul Spector, around various unspecified observations he had made about toxic masculinity and male violence, as if somehow all men are secretly serial killers. Okay, Alan, that was his foundation. That
I
was the
mean,
big, compelling social theme.
yeah.
even that I don't think is something you can glean from what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a big old stretch because of, you know, going down a certain pipeline, I think.
I could see it.
I'm reminded a bit of when we watched Day After Tomorrow and someone said that and someone I won't name who said that it was anti-white for some reason. I encourage any of you who've seen that movie, please point to anything that is remotely anti-white in that. And his tie to it was just, oh, it's pro-environmentalist. Because of a Bill Gates thing, which I looked up as he was saying that and found out that that was made up. Like he completely made that up.
The Bill Gates thing.
And it was based on a conspiracy theory which didn't even mention race. So
All
yeah,
right.
it's just kind of, so I'm not trying to imply that she's that extreme, but it's just interesting how like when you're so exposed to uh a certain like I guess cherry picked view of the world that you're gonna make all of these leaps based on a thing someone says rather than sticking to the thing that the person says.
Oh, yeah. I yeah.
Because
I
I
think you're
did
right.
not get a single all men thing from that quote that she provided.
I can see where someone might think that. I I don't. I think it's a leap, but it's not that
Yeah,
big.
but that doesn't make it not a stretch.
Yeah, you
Like
may
that
stretch
it's
it.
still a stretch though.
Yeah, it's still a stretch, but I can see how she came to that conclusion. It's not that far of a stretch for me to believe that.
He wanted us to think about. He wanted viewers to acknowledge the idea that sadistic violence was, as he said, a natural continuation of masculinity. Feel free to discuss that one amongst yourselves. I'm tempted to dump a bunch of sources here debunking the whole men are violent monsters by default thing, but this video isn't about male violence or whatever, yet I know that there are some viewers out there who will hear me make these apparently insane and wild claims like men are not naturally predisposed to becoming sexually sadistic serial killers, and you'll be like, there's no source, therefore this entire video is lies. Sure, men are more aggressive, but aggression does
I would
not
appreciate it if
equal
you put your
sexual.
sources in the description.
I would put if you put sources
Well,
for what you're talking about the
I'm
character.
I'm
still mad
so,
about that.
Yeah.
Don't put it on the
sorry.
screen.
I'm sorry. Why are you bringing this up now? I thought we were okay.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing. It's like you're definitely a charged channel. I can tell. Like
Yeah,
there's
this is quite a charged channel.
hmm
It's
I,
just, but
I
at the very least, just put it into a paceman in your description. It's like I'm so bad about that. This is not
yeah, I
that's not
know.
how you edit videos.
In fact, 24, 26. I think I'm good for now. Um,
Oh, all right.
yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. It's
So I'm not
Will we
convinced
do
by
a
that
part
example
two,
because she hasn't
or
explained the story.
yeah, I know. But
will
anyways,
will we do a part two, or
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
all right?
Oh goodness me, it probably won't be the same week. So it won't probably be next week. I need something. I need a de-cleanse. Like I've had a busy day today. I worked for a couple of hours at the helping out the local church, and I had to move leaves and bales of hay. So it's like, yeah, I'm tired. I took a nap when I came home because I'm like, So, anyways, but still, I think that was, I think, as much as I disagree, um, that's not the worst video I've ever seen. Like,
It
Oh
it's
yeah, far
definitely
from
not.
it.
It's definitely
But
not the worst, but it's not great.
no, it's not great.
it's got a few common problems. A few
Mhm.
problems that you see a lot on YouTube.
Yep. Um, I think I have some of those problems, and that I need to rectify. But at least I put the example right after I talk about it. Like I don't waste time. Anyways,
Yeah, we
let's
took
see.
forever getting here.
So yeah,
It was
uh, is there anything that anyone's working on or something? Yay!
Still, I'm still, I'm
I think
still,
that's it.
I'm still trying. I'm still working on something, but I'm not gonna say what.
I like my snow. It just makes it look special. I might keep it.
Okay.
I need to put something there besides uh something else for each season. Just to be like, hey, look at that. It's snowy. But yeah, unfortunately things have been put on hiatus because my video editor sucks right now. I need to check it out.
Gotta love it.
Yep. I love Disk Space. So this video is sponsored by Disk Space. Free up your computer today.
Spent thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, Falco, how
Mhm.
dare you try to sponsor something? Okay, you need to sponsor a loan shark app. That's how you do
Oh
it.
yeah, Clover. Make sure to
Yeah,
FanDuel,
Clover.
sponsored by FanDuel, where you can spin. Dude, there are so many people hooked on gambling. It's insane. Like,
Yeah.
uh, and I hate how it just became legal in the States just to gamble your life away. Uh, it's so easy. And every single sporting event has FanDuel on it. I'm like, and it started during the pandemic too.
Yeah, so anyways, have you ever heard about the most ambitious RPG in the world?
Tell me more. It's like,
Well, you,
shut up and
you
take
see,
my money.
there's this game called Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my gosh, Raid Shadow Legends.
Legends.
Man, before people
Thing
knew,
will
there were
be
some
leg.
great ads for Raid Shadow Legends. And then there's what we're really sponsored by
I'm
is
supposed to make this game sound fun, aren't I?
the casinos. That's right. You feel like a high roller, and it's really cinematic. Freaking Chris stuck me.
I have this new game, this new hit mobile game. It's called Slum. You play as Slum the Schmingle,
Schmung the
and
Schmingle.
you have to collect 500 schmood rings,
But
in order to, I
move.
don't know where I'm going.
Okay, no. In order to move to collect the coins for each, you have to answer questions, and they get harder. But if you don't want to feel like answering the questions, when you need to move, you can pay us $1, and then you. It's like, but you have to move
Yeah,
500 spaces.
yeah, you have to pay us 500 Glorgax in order to.
Glorgax. It's another currency. It's a premium currency. Yeah. Uh, it's called Slorm Your Slooms. Yeah.
Get those schmood rings and get them now.
It just reminds me of South Park. Like, catch me, come on, you can do it. Because like it's called like Chasing the Dragon game. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah. You'll never catch that dragon, okay? It's never gonna happen. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go. So like yep.
All right. You guys have a
We-
good time.